still buzzing after that Game 2 miraculous win. Tyrese Halliburton, the hero, and now Indiana with a 2-0 series lead here in the Eastern Conference semifinals over the top-seeded and 64-win team, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, Games 3 and 4 back here in Indy, a humongous opportunity for the Pacers to really take a commanding lead of this series and at least go up 3-1, if not end this series here at home. 3-1 going back to Cleveland for Game 5. We had a chance to hear from head coach Rick Carlisle, TJ McConnell, Tyrese Halliburton, and Miles Turner ahead of Games 3 and 4 here in Indy.
How did Tyrese's wrist come through? He's obviously out there, and then he's obviously got a wrap on it. It's kind of the latest as far as.
Yeah, it's a little sore, but he's gonna be okay. He'll play.
The ending of the game became a lot of a story after Game 2. But you guys were in fact down 20 in the second half. What's the stuff you guys looked at that you need to do better going into Game 3?
Rebounding, big thing. We got to do better against their pressure. And obviously Mitchell's a big concern, and it sounds like all their guys are going to play in Game 3. That's what we're hearing. So we got to be prepared for that. So, in a playoff series, there's always a lot going on. There's a lot we got to be ready for.
After the game, Kenny Atkinson again talked about physicality. You mentioned you guys grabbing a lot. Did you see that? What are your comments on that?
Well, I mean, in 2 games, we've been called for 9 more fouls than them, and they've shot 9 more free throws than us. So it doesn't add up. So look, we're not expecting any gifts from the referees. I don't think we got any in either of the first 2 games. I know they disagreed with some calls. It's all part of it. It's all part of it. You know? So we've just got to do our very best to maintain the kind of edge you got to have headed into a 3rd game when you've won a couple.
Rick, you've been around the league for a long time. Have you been around a group of guys that have the will to come back with all these deficits and find a way to get it done?
We got a resilient group of guys that play hard. I don't want to go backwards and talk about things that have already happened. Those things they're history now. A lot of these situations have strengthened the resolve of this team, but it's been over the entire season. And so, you got to summon up every resource you have this time of year. And one of the things is one of the big challenges is to maintain a high level of edge, focus, all those kinds of things, urgency, you name it. So that's going to be our main goal tomorrow. And again, with a full expectation that we're going to see some guys that we haven't seen.
You guys talked a lot after Game 2 about just the positives of the wear down effect that you guys have, your ability to wear teams down. Obviously, a lot of that, we've talked a lot about the depth aspect. I mean, what all do you think makes this group good at wearing teams down and being the team that's better conditioner for,
Well, both teams are very deep. And certainly Cleveland playing 10, 11 guys consistently most of the season wore down a lot of their opponents. Look, both teams are deep. You want to take advantage of all the guys that you have. You want to keep energy in the game. You just want to make it hard. You just got to keep trying to make it hard.
Any thoughts about I know in the first series with the Bucks, you talked a lot about the fan support. How critical will they need to be this weekend to help you guys out here against the Cavs?
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's building was so loud. It was so loud, and so we need our fans to bring every last ounce of energy and noise and everything that they have. Because, each game going forward is going to be a monumental challenge. And their support has meant a lot to us this year, and it's important right now.
Real quick, Tyrese, the fact that he was dealing with the injury, dealing with the pressure he was dealing with defensively, but still able to deliver for this team. What have you appreciated most about what you're seeing from your star player, especially in this series right now?
I mean, everybody's got to elevate their game this time of year. It starts with your best players, Tyrese and Pascal and Miles, and it's got to funnel down to everybody. So Look, things that have already happened, they're in the books. We've got to focus on what's to happen next, which is another opportunity to compete tomorrow.
What's different about this bench and the way it functions this year, especially as a playoff bench? Because you guys had kind of a more steady full group of guys who are playing all the time this year. Sometimes Ben plays, sometimes Garrett plays. It functions a little bit different. What's it like to operate with these guys?
I mean, just got to figure it out. Some guys are in there, like you said, some guys aren't, and guys interchange, and you just got to be a professional. And the guys that are in there, you just got to play, and you got to play to exhaustion, and that's what we're trying to do.
What's the pressure about how Ben and Jarris in particular have handled that? I mean, they go into a lot of games not knowing exactly what their role is going to be and have stepped up in those positions. What's the pressure about how each of those guys have taken on the roles?
Just being professionals about it. Whenever their number's called, they're ready, and they come in and they're effective. So, they put in the work, especially like today, and it translates. So, super happy for them, but not surprised.
Been up 2-0 right now in this series. You've been around for a long time. It's far from over. What is like the message among the teammates right now going into this game on Friday?
I think you said it. It's far from over. It's a really big game coming up, and we have to go into it like it's 0-0, and we have to be extremely hungry. We know we're going to get their best punch, and we have to punch back.
You haven't shot it so well all season, under 30% from three in both these games. Do you feel like that's something you guys have done well? Is it just them missing? Where do you see that?
I mean, I think it's a little of both. We're trying to make things difficult, and one could argue they didn't shoot it well in the first game. But it's just about making things difficult for them. You're not going to shut them down completely. They're such a high-powered offense, and they're so well coached. It's just about making the guy across from you work as hard as possible.
Ty and Miles both talked a lot about the value of the wear-down effect, the term they use, your guys' ability to kind of wear teams down. How much do you take pride in that as a bench? Because a part of that is bringing depth and bringing energy when those starters come up.
I think it just, like I keep saying, just playing to exhaustion. That tires other guys out, and in our depth, if all of us are able to do that, it's hard to play against us for 48 minutes. And we press all year to get ready for a series like this in the playoffs. So we just got to continue to play extremely hard on both ends of the floor.
What's it like just being a part of an 11-man rotation? This isn't typical in a playoff situation. You tend to see it shrink. What's it like to see it kind of expand, basically, and how do you think that's changed the dynamic of these series so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a testament to the guys we have here that Rick trusts them, especially in the playoffs, and it's about taking pride in just doing your job. If you're playing for 2 minutes, 28 minutes, 15 minutes, just do your job and do it at a high level and play for the 4 other guys out there with you.
Is there the fact that you guys have had these crazy comebacks? I know you got to move on to the next game, but what does that do for you guys as a team mentally, knowing when you may be down, there's still possible you can win these games for what you've done in the past?
Yeah, I mean, I think it shows the character we have here, that we play the full 48 and beyond if it goes into overtime. But like you said, once that buzzer sounds and the game's over, you can be happy in the moment, but we have to move on, and we are moving on. We're getting ready for tomorrow.
You observed many times Tyrese and what he's been able to do, but particularly what he did in Game 2. What does it say about him and just the person he is and what his impact on the floor for you guys?
Special player. I don't know if I could put it any better. He is so important to what we do. The way he commands double teams coming off pick and rolls, they're face guarding him, and he's finding ways to be effective and being effective at a high level.
Or how did it make it through a couple days in a practice?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll be fine for the game, so I'm all good.
This is the common saying with the playoffs is that the game slows down. I know last year you were very happy that you guys didn't. Why do you feel like you guys have been able to buck that, or do you feel like that saying is even true at all?
I think the playoffs call for more physicality, scouting what teams like to do, all those things, right? And I think it's just human nature. I think all these games are really close as well. So down the stretch of games, the game gets slowed down. You want to get the best shot available every possession. So I think it's true to a sense, but I think that our identity is how fast we play. I think we talk about having, playing with controlled chaos. I think at the same time, we're not only fast in transition and in the full court, our half court offense is fast as well. There's a lot of movement, flying around, blur screens, pin downs, all that stuff. So, I feel like it's maybe overblown a little bit, but I understand where it comes from.
What goes into turning the page after a win like that, coming home and resetting, making sure you don't let the foot off the gas?
I mean, the series isn't over. Far from over. We know they've had some guys down. There'll probably be, more guys who will come back throughout the course of the series, and you never know what that's going to look like. But I mean, at the end of the day, this is a team who is the #1 seed for a reason. It's probably really rare that they lose 2 games in a row. I doubt they've lost 3 games in a row all year. I don't know the exact number, but I'm sure it hasn't happened often. So we're going to see a desperate team, a team who's coming in here, to win 2 games and to get home, with a 2-2. So we just got to take it a day at a time, a game at a time, possession at a time, and understand, we're still in control of our destiny, and the series is far from over. So of course we're at home. We love playing at home, love being in front of our fans, but we know still got to keep everything tight and be prepared to approach Game 3 the right way.
So I know you mentioned that the series is far from over, but you did go on the road and you worked hard to get those 2 wins. How important is it for you guys beginning tomorrow night to take advantage of this opportunity to be able to get these 2 games and try to put this thing away this week?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously that's to go there and win 2 is a really big deal, especially just because of who they are, what their home court looks like, what playoffs look like. To go take 2 at home, on their home floor is a big deal, but still think we just got to approach it the right way, man. Like, you want to take advantage of the opportunity that's in front of us, but at the same time, you understand that, they're going to play desperate. They're going to play to win, and honestly, we should be desperate too. We should be just as desperate to protect home court and take care of home court the right way. Because, I mean, mathematically, if we take care of home court, we win the series. So, it's really important for us to just approach it the right way. I felt like Game 2 we were a little loose to start the game, and we got to nip that in the bud, be ready to go Game 3.
You talked a lot about just the wear-down effect that you guys have in the career. You've obviously talked a lot about what depth has to do with that. What makes your bench fit the style of play that wears on people, and what makes this, I guess, a good playoff bench that you can go 11 deep with the guys that you have?
Yeah, I mean, I think that our roster is just constructed for everybody to play the same way. We don't change the way we play when a guy is out. If I'm out, if P's out, if Miles is out, we play the same exact way. Adding TB in the middle of the year, we got 2 5s who can space the floor and make shots. And then everybody likes to run. We got a lot of guys who can play in transition, play well in transition. So I think kudos to our front office and our coaching staff for the roster construction in the first place. But I also think we got a lot of guys who feel like they got a chip on their shoulder and have a lot to prove. You could go down the line with every single person, but we got a lot of hungry guys. Only one guy here is one, or Thomas too, but 2 guys have won a championship. So the rest of us, most of us, last year was our first time even having playoff experience.
Right.
So we're a hungry group, man, and we're young, and we want it. We want to win. So I feel like that's a part of our group, and we all share that between us.
How big is it that they're all built to play pressure defense between Shep, Mather, and Walker, TJ? All those guys can defend you for 94. How important is that on the second game as well?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Honestly, I think TJ is kind of the head of the snake there. He's, you've heard the old jokes, but I think he's, especially for that bench unit, he's like the big bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody just kind of follows his lead. Ben Mathurin, Walk, Shep, all those guys got here when TJ was here, and they see what he does, and he's grown a hell of a career by being a guy who's going to pick up 94 feet and do all the little things. And so I think those guys see that and they want to do the same thing. It's contagious. When you see a guy diving on the floor playing hard, you want to do the same thing. Same thing goes for like AA in our first group. You see that guy flying around everywhere. It's like, okay, I got to match that level of intensity because you see a guy putting it all out there for you. You want to do the same for him. So I think TJ is kind of the head of the snake there with that group, and everybody follows that lead.
Your heroics have been unreal in this postseason. Reaction on social media, the seats behind you. What's that done for you? I mean, what's it been like for you to just seeing the support you get from Pacers fans, social media just being behind you and this team here in this run?
Yeah, it's cool to see. I'm not on social media a ton during the playoffs. I delete the app re-download the app to post, delete it again. Like I try not to look at stuff as much as I can. Understanding, all the notoriety and that stuff comes with winning and comes with success. And individually, I've been able to have some success this playoffs, but it's because of the team success that we're having at the end of the day. So, I know a lot of the conversation has come around my shot last game, but I talked about it in the media after the game, like the shots and the plays that we made down the stretch were unbelievable. Like everything had to go right for us to do that. Double A with the Michael Jordan tip-in dunk out of nowhere, drew a big offensive foul. Miles with a big tip out there. We had a lot of different guys chip in and make plays for that to happen. So it doesn't happen with those guys. And again, I think some about our team that has been talked about is we're not a team with one guy who's just going to do everything every game. We preach depth all the time. We got a lot of different guys who contribute and are a big part of what we do. So I think that's what I enjoy so much about this group. It can be anybody's night on any given night.
But do you feel it though? Obviously you feel it when you're walking around town, when you're going into the games, and just with these crowds being serious.
Yeah. During the playoffs, I try not to go places too much. But when I'm driving on the road or something, I've had a couple people roll the window down to, say what's up and show love. Basketball is just, it's special here, and people love it here in Indiana, and I think everybody can rally behind our group. You're seeing that not only in Indiana, but I think around the country, people are seeing what we're doing, and I think sometimes you see when a group is having the success the way we are, and doing it, playing the game the right way, people enjoy that, and want to show love to that. So that's special to see. But at the end of the day, the expectations we have as a group hasn't changed since the start of the year. We're trying to win a championship, and that's been the goal the whole time. So we're going to continue to chase that.
Did you hear from anybody cool or special after shot Tuesday?
Yeah. A couple different people text me.
Like who?
Timberlake texts me. Floyd texts me. Me and Steph texted a little bit. I've been able to grow some cool relationships, so yeah, I've had some pretty cool texts. But there was a cool video of my dog running around the house after the shot, so that was the coolest one. Yeah.
Speaking of Steph, what's it been like to see Buddy?
Yeah.
What he's done, but also Buddy being Buddy for the world.
We FaceTimed after the game too, after his game as well. It's really special to see him doing what he's doing, especially because that's like family to me, and it's so cool to see him taking this bigger role. And now with Steph out, he's going to be expected to do even more, and he's doing it on both ends. I was joking with Coach after game one to see what Buddy was doing out there on defense, and he said to me, "Who would have thought that Tyrese and Buddy would make big defensive plays on the same day?" So it's cool to see what he's doing, and I'm following, and it's really special to see.
What's it like to see his interactions with Jimmy?
Well, you guys can speak to it. That's very similar to the interactions I had with him. Jimmy can probably really relate to what I went through for many years. You just gotta take it with a grain of salt. The shorts thing is like the most Buddy Hield thing I've ever seen in my life, but doesn't surprise me at all. And no accountability with this guy. You saw him in the media talking about blame Jimmy. It's unbelievable. He's probably too busy drinking Red Bull before the game to even understand what he was doing. So it's cool to see. It's funny to see. I've watched all those because it's very. Yeah. I feel Jimmy very much so. Yeah.
I know a lot of people were asking about your dad and just how proud he was you making that game when he shot. What was the conversation like with how proud was he to see what you were able to do that game?
Yeah, he's very excited. Called me right after the game, and he's driving down here today. He won't be at the game though, but he's driving down here. He told me it's important that if we're at home, he wants to come be here just so he can still see me on my off days and see me before the game or whatever. So obviously we talk every day. So he was very excited.
Obviously, vibes are high, but keeping the main thing is the main focus right now. The Pacers know they cannot let their foot off the gas. And you heard Rick Carlisle say they're expecting Evan Mobley, DeAndre Hunter, and Darius Garland to play. Maybe not as soon as Game 3, definitely here in Indy for either Games 3 or Game 4. We'll see how much difference that makes. Certainly significant injury update coming for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We'll see. It's going to be a lot of fun at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. We expect a raucous environment on Friday and Sunday for Games 3 and 4 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series. Coming up after the break, we'll have Tony East of Locked On Pacers diagnosing this series and seeing what Pacers can do better, even being up 2-0. That's coming up after the break. We'll see you then. Welcome back, everybody. Ascension St. Vincent Center, the site of Pacers gearing up for Game 3 of this Eastern Conference semifinal series against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Joining us from Locked On Pacers, Tony East. He's a warrior when it comes to covering the Pacers and the Fever, all things Pacers. He knows about it. Tony, just your reaction from games 1 and 2. I mean, the Pacers go on the road. They take 2 from a 64-win team. Things are looking good. Vibes are really high. They're back here at home for games 3 and 4. What was your biggest takeaways? An insane game 2, but a big game 1 win and now a 2-0 series lead.
Extremely impressive what they were able to do in Cleveland, and that team's offense in the first round was unbelievable. It was the top by offensive rating offense in the regular season. I thought it'd be challenging for the Pacers to stop them. I think a lot of the questions coming in the series were, can they keep up with their scoring? Instead, the Pacers defended pretty well. The Cavs shot under 30% from 3 both games. Donovan Mitchell, sure, he got going, but they've been pretty good limiting a lot of the other Cavaliers players who have been very threatening throughout the season. And so, yes, the Pacers offense has been good. They hit 120 points in both games, but I think they've got to be happy with how they defended and the fact that they were able to weather the storm. 17-4 Cavs run in the third quarter of game 1, crazy run in the first quarter of game 2. Both times the Pacers were able to claw back and get another lead. So they fought through the Cavs' highest punches on offense and defended pretty well in these games. That's why they're up 2-0.
Yeah, no question about it. Perimeter defense. Tyrese Halliburton showcasing his ability, no doubt about it. Okay, we've talked during the regular season. We talked during the Bucks series. They just keep getting away with it. they get in these deficits. No team, I think just 3 teams, 3 in 1,679, I think the number was, in the last 20 years, trailing by 7 in the last 48 seconds of OT or fourth quarter. The Pacers, 2 of those wins, 2 of the 3 wins. It's just incredible what they're able to do in these late game situations. But we've seen them do this. They're prepped for it. Is there something to flexing that muscle and having the ability in clutch moments to continue to get it done, or is this just something we haven't seen? I mean, it's crazy.
It's so rare that I almost feel like it can't be coincidence, if that makes any sense. Like, they're ready for these moments. They told us in the regular season, and in some ways I believe that. In other ways, I thought the playoffs would be different if these moments came to pass. But look at that. It doesn't matter. Like, it has changed what I consider a dagger shot. It has changed the definition of what I think a game is over now, because they can force some turnovers. They can create the shots. And, the thing that I have been so impressed by is, yeah, they can force some turnovers. That's great. But you still have to take advantage of the opportunities presented to you and score to take advantage of those chances in these games. Both times, Milwaukee and then on Tuesday in Cleveland, they've scored every trip with a big 3, a big and 1, so free throws from everybody. They've done everything well, to the point that I'm like, it's just who they are. Like, it's something innate about them. They did it a bunch in the regular season. There's other teams are worn down from running with the Pacers all night. The Pacers take advantage when it matters.
It's really remarkable to see, and it's to the point where you got to consult a cardiologist before watching any Pacers basketball. Okay, so for the Cleveland Cavaliers, obviously some injuries, some significant injuries. DeAndre Hunter, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley out for Game 2. Rick Carlisle seems to think, after talking to him today, that they're going to play here in Indy, whether it be games 3 or 4. How significant is that, and how important was it to take advantage? Not only getting game 1, shooting the lights out, but then getting game 2, your back's against the wall with those guys out now, a 2-0 series.
I thought that was the story of game 1. They had to win that. With Garland out and the shooting, they had to win it. They got more fortunate in game 2 with some absences, but again, you need to take advantage of it, and boy, did they barely do it. Mobley's amazing. I mean, in game 1, it felt like there was 2 of him on the floor.
Right.
Hunter's been a great shooter all season, and Garland was perhaps their top offensive talent for a couple months this season. Like, these are big absences, right? This is 2 all-star level players and their best or second best bench player all missing time. It's a huge deal that they took advantage of it, but if they return, we've seen how good the Cavs can be, so they're still going to have to be sharp. Mobley, I think, will be the one that changes the game the most with his defensive abilities. If he returns, Pascal Siakam becomes infinitely more important in that reality. The Cavs need him. Like, last game, they could at least squint and say, you know what, maybe we steal it, maybe we don't.
Right.
But now they're down 2-0. You go down 3-0. No one's ever come back from that. They need those guys now.
Look, this is a 64-team win for a reason, right? How many times during the season did they win 3 games in a row, win 4 games in a row? Series isn't over. Tyrese Halliburton said it. All these Pacers players have said it. They know they got to lock back in. To that point, you're up 2-0. Mathematically speaking, you have the home court advantage. You could theoretically sweep this series. Not saying it's possible or probable, but that it's in front of you. What do they have to work on, if anything? Certainly there were some areas that they need to improve on from games 1 and 2 to keep this going and at least split it here at home, have a 3-1 series lead going back to Cleveland.
That's what I've been trying to ask a little bit and find out, because, look, they won the game and everybody's talking about the moments of Tyrese Halliburton. They were down 20 in the second half of game 2. They clearly did not play the way they hoped or wanted for a lot of that game, and they got to figure out the rebounding battle's been killer for them all series. The Cavs are dominating the possession battle. They've taken 10 or more shots than their opponent in both of these games.
Wow.
They've got to be better at that. Look, you can talk about stopping Donovan Mitchell. It's not an easy thing to do, but they do need to be a little bit better defending him, even if it's just letting him get 48 without fouling him, so he takes 21 free throws. That's a lot of the stuff that they've been talking about. You know, you've been present for a lot of this too. They need to be better in those ways, but no, it just feels like they've been sloppy with the turnovers, 16 in the last game. You know, it hasn't felt like full 48 minutes of Pacers basketball yet. I think just working on their consistency and those little things that made them great when they were at their absolute best will make them better in these next 2 games.
To play like that and still have a 2-0 series lead, getting both games on the road, coming back here to Indy, you're feeling pretty good if you're part of this Pacers organization or a Pacers fan. So we'll see what happens in games 3 and 4. You'll have all your coverage here on WTHR Plus and, of course, on air on Channel 13. That is Tony East. I'm Dominic Miranda. We'll see if the Pacers can get it done.